only noticed this while editing, but can we just appreciate how Sonic sounds when he dies in the Cyberspace stages? Fucking absolutely beautiful. Just another day of waiting for Frontiers, and holy mother of chicken fried shit! The amount of gameplay they just released is fucking mental. Frontiers releases in just under 2 weeks, and this is taking the piss. I wanna fucking play it! They showed off a load of Chaos Island, which out of the 3 so far looks to have the most 2D sections. I don't know if all islands have an equal amount of 2D sections, or they just happen to show off more 2D in that specific island, but that doesn't worry me in any way. In fact, almost nothing does. The Cyberspace stages seem to pretty much be confirmed that the only things for them returning are Green Hill, Chemical Plant, Sky Sanctuary, and Speed Highway, or whatever the fuck this highway stage is. I'm just gonna go out and say it's Speed Highway. And it just makes you think, why though? Most stages are reusing stage layouts. In fact, they straight up brought back Skyrail, and it may as well be a remaster of the stage's theme, just like in Sonic Generations. Some people would just keep defending them, like reusing assets in this game, because they're supposed to be linked to Sonic's memories, but from what most of us can tell, Skyrail's a shadow stage. I have no issue if the stages are fun, but I do kind of have an issue that we are now 4 boosting mainline games in, and Green Hill has returned in every single one. We also know the meat lies within the islands, and the amount of unique Guardian bosses, areas, and platforming challenges, and the combat and different abilities all tied together just looks so beautiful. At least the moves that make sense that Sonic can do. When I initially saw the first combat reveal, some moves just didn't really make much sense for Sonic to do. Like Wild Rush, straight up teleporting away from the enemy and then just rushing into it. Most of them don't do something like that. But then there's this one where he's just straight up trying to be Goku. It's a move that just doesn't seem to suit Sonic the Hedgehog. So seeing combos tied together to look like this in a fast, unbroken motion that makes more sense, it's just a thing of beauty. Ares and Chaos Island definitely look like they have more popping than Chronos, and if others want to be bothered by that, they can. I know I won't. Some people just straight up still refuse to think this game is gonna be good, and maybe that's why they just pulled out the big guns and just let real people play and show off so much. Because one big thing that makes a game look good and makes it look so appealing is seeing gameplay that doesn't look like it's being played by a pile of pubes with a fucking keyboard and mouse. I've seen the complaints, some areas still look empty, but it seems to me a lot of the empty areas have enemies spawn in them, and I'm really glad to see the enemies actually get stronger on later islands. Like, you see the basic one that could die from one homing attack in Kronos Island to having a wall of spikes completely around it in Chaos. This tower boss is just straight up unhinged. The ninja looks like it has much better defense, and it's just nice to see that progressing through the game requires the player to actually get better. And I'm pretty sure all enemies scale depending on how strong Sonic is. So that might mean if you go back to Kronos Island, depending on the fact that if you can go back to Kronos Island later on in the game, you won't be running through everything with a late game Sonic. Just like how in Unleashed, when your Werehog is maxed out and you play the first night stage of the game, you run through literally everything. I mean, it makes getting an S rank piss easy at that point, but still. Most reviewers said all they got was 6 hours of playtime, and were all almost able to get to Chaos Island, so I think the idea of this game being 20 hours long is a bit of an exaggeration, unless it's because it would take 20 hours to fully 100% everything in the game, or the last 2 islands are just beyond massive. I also just love how most of the gameplay is spent someone just abusing the side loop to farm rings to get the power boost unlocked. I'm just so happy with how fast the game is, and I just kind of wish Sonic moved this fast in Cyberspace, but with too much good looking at my ugly self, I can't bring myself to nitpick at anything. The game will have issues, and that's okay, so long as none of them are as game-breaking as this shit. Like, I can't even fucking move. Not to mention, Roger's voice acting just sounds the most natural it ever has. It was pretty good in Forces and worked well in the Boom Show, but when he actually sounds fully serious with a better and less light-hearted, cringy writing direction, he is a good voice for Sonic. That doesn't mean all I want later on in Sonic stories is just make them as dark and depressing as possible, because if anything, some Sonic fans just need to lighten up a little bit! But it just means the writing still needs to take itself seriously and just not be cringy as shit. I'm looking at you, Sonic Colors, you disgusting, annoying little—
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large.
Hey, did somebody here order a clobbering?
What? No, I said I'll have 2 number 9s.
Sure? It says somebody ordered an extra large clobbering topped with everything.
Bitch, I said I'll have 2 number 9s. Why you not understanding?
Okay, tell you what. I can't take this thing back.
No, I don't want the clobbering. I said I want 2 number 9s and a number 9 large.
You're hungry.
This mother...
But to say this game is looking boring or unfinished or any of the negative stuff that was mostly being said by a lot of fans from the very first gameplay reveal, you would just have to consider yourself completely done with a franchise, possibly. This game might just not be for you, as there is not a single game in the world that could make everyone happy. I'm just someone who is extremely excited for this game, as the last 3 games from Sega have been very underwhelming, and the last time a Sonic game was the absolute bollocks was 2011, and even then, I feel like Sonic Generations could have been a lot more. I'm not going to complain about it, I just wish there was a real story going there, but fuck it. We have waited for long enough, and it's time we get a win. This game has so much potential for the future as well. What they've created now can work as a foundation for later open zone Sonic games, to the point where maybe they will just say fuck it and do a full-on open world game like pretty much all the others, where most action takes place within a giant space and isn't 5 massive areas separated from each other. I mean, they did also say they want to do another adventure game. Some people just take that as Sonic Adventure 3, whatever you want to take it as. Another adventure game would also be the bollocks, probably, hopefully. I mean, you just know people are going to cream their knickers if they see Sonic spin dash off a ramp into the air. But yeah, a lot of the gameplay, you just see Sonic's speed leveled up to like the highest as 10, and he is still rapid. So imagine level 99, because that seems to be the max level. And if I'm being honest, I can't imagine you actually needing to hit level 99 before beating the game. Unless, what I said before, the last 2 islands are fucking massive. There is a potential for that, because it seems like the only Sonic friends that you have to actually save is Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, and all 3 of them have a part to play in their specific island. So God knows what's going to happen with the last 2, and that's only assuming that there are actually 5 islands. I actually have no idea if that was 100,000% confirmed. I just remember that shit being said from all the leaks, and then the fact that there are multiple islands just pretty much confirms it for me. But that's going to be it for now. Leave a like, subscribe, follow my Twitch. I'm going to be streaming the game when it comes out. So links in the description, same as the Discord. Don't be racist, and cheers, lads! And until the next time, have a good one.